BJP all set to begin nationwide digital rallies to celebrate completion of first year of Modi 2.0 government. Union Home Minister Amit Shah will connect with people in Bihar today at 4 p.m. Government continues to bring back Indians stranded abroad under Operation Samudra Setu and Vande Bharat mission. INS Jalashwa reaches Tuticorin in Tamil Nadu from Mali. With 700 Indian nationals, 910 stranded Indians returned from Nairobi, Kuwait, Djibouti, Frankfurt, Kuwait, Ho Chi Minh City and Jeddah. Active cases of COVID-19 rise in India to 1,20,406. 1,19,292 cured and discharged. Total 6,929 fatalities reported till now. Over 68,58,000 people worldwide infected by coronavirus. Deaths surpass 3,98,000. US tops the list with over 19 lakh people infected. Brazil comes in at number 2 with over 6,45,000 patients. And World Food Safety Day is being observed today. Vice President calls upon all stakeholders to ensure that the food we consume is safe, healthy and nutritious to boost immunity and stay healthy. Hello and welcome to this edition of the news. I'm Rukma. The BJP is all set to begin from today a series of virtual rallies to mark the first year of the NDA 2.0 government. Union Home Minister and senior BJP leader Amit Shah will today address the first of the series of virtual rallies in an address directed at the people of Bihar through a video link and Facebook Live. The plan is to reach out to at least 1 lakh people across the 243 assembly segments in the key heartland state, marking the digital launch of the party's assembly election campaign here.
The Bharatiya Janata Party is planning virtual rallies all across the nation to mark the first year of NDA 2.0. Party leaders will connect to the masses via these rallies and communicate centre's measures in the fight against COVID-19 and also talk about other achievements of Modi government. Union Minister and party's senior leader Amit Shah will address the people of Bihar through a virtual rally on Sunday. BJP has set a target of roping in at least 1 lakh people across 243 assembly segments in Bihar for the video conference, besides those who may prefer to listen to the speech on the social networking site. Party has also set an ambitious target of taking the virtual rally live to all the 72,000 booths in the state.
देश के गृह मंत्री बिहार के वर्कर को, हम लोगों को, उसको सबको संबोधित करेंगे और ये रैली की तरह लाखों लोग इसमें जुड़ने वाले हैं.
The party will virtually sound the poll bugle in Bihar with this virtual rally. It is being called the commencement of digital campaign for assembly elections in Bihar. Assembly elections in Bihar are due later this year. The BJP has been sharing power with the Janata Dal United, headed by Chief Minister Nitish Kumar since 2005, barring a 4-year gap from 2013 to 17. BJP leader Shahnawaz Hussain also slammed Congress leader Rahul Gandhi for his remarks on India's fight against COVID-19 pandemic. He said that Rahul Gandhi is creating confusion in the country and misleading the people.
राहुल गांधी जी पूरी तरह गलत तुलना कर रहे हैं. कोरोना से जो लड़ाई भारत लड़ रहा है वो दुनिया में बेहतरीन लड़ाई लड़ रहा है, क्योंकि जिसका मिसाल इटली और अन्य कंट्री का राहुल गांधी दे रहे हैं, वहां पर कोरोना पॉजिटिव की तादाद आबादी के तनासुब में बहुत ज्यादा है, वहां पर मौत ज्यादा हुई है. भारत की सरकार ने राज्य सरकार को विश्वास में लेकर एक मजबूत लड़ाई लड़ी है.
While large gatherings are prohibited under Unlock 1, it remains to be seen whether conventional poll campaign involving rallies and road shows will be allowed by the time the election schedule is announced. DD India.
910 Indians returned on Saturday and on various flights from Nairobi, Kuwait, Djibouti, Frankfurt, Kuwait, Ho Chi Minh City and Jeddah under the third phase of Vande Bharat mission. which continues to bring back Indians stranded abroad. The mission has already helped 65,000 people return home since the 6th of May. The third phase will see Air India operate nearly 300 flights to Europe, Australia, Canada, the United States, UK and Africa from the 10th of this month to the 1st of July. The airline operated 64 flights in the first phase of the mission and 12,708 Indians were brought back home. In the second phase, 290 flights helped 52,113 Indians return. The Indian Navy also continues to contribute to the country's national effort to bring home our citizens from foreign shores by sea. In the series, Indian naval ship Jalashwa has reached Tuticorin in Tamil Nadu from Malé in the Maldives with 700 Indian nationals. This is INS Jalashwa's third trip under Operation Samudra Setu. With this trip, INS Jalashwa alone has successfully brought back nearly 2,700 Indian citizens from the Maldives and Sri Lanka to Indian shores under the broader umbrella of the government's mission, Vande Bharat. And as part of one of the largest such exercises that the world has seen, the Indian Railways has so far transported over 58 lakh migrant workers to their homes in states across the country via 4,286 Shramik special trains. The mission started off with about 250 trains being run daily. The numbers have come down now as most migrants have reached their homes. Chairman of the Railway Board has now said that demands for such trains by state governments will be fulfilled within the next 10 days and any additional demands will be fulfilled thereafter within 24 hours.
Massive railways operation to help stranded migrant laborers reach their hometowns is continuing. Railways has facilitated the return of more than 58 lakh distressed migrant laborers to their hometowns. 4,286 trains have been operated by the railways for the purpose till now.
हमने 3 जून को जो राज्य सरकारों के मुख्य सचिव हैं उनसे हमने अनुरोध किया था कि वो अपनी रिक्वायरमेंट बता दें। जो हमको 3 जून को रिक्वायरमेंट दी गई थी वो 171 ट्रेनों की दी गई, जिसमें सबसे ज़्यादा केरला की रिक्वायरमेंट है करीब 66 ट्रेन की, फिर तमिलनाडु की रिक्वायरमेंट है 26 ट्रेन की और बाकी कुछ राज्य सरकारों की कुछ 5 या 10 ट्रेनों की रिक्वायरमेंट है। अभी तक कुल 4,286 ट्रेनें चलाई जा चुकी हैं और 58 लाख से ज़्यादा श्रमिक भाई बहन अपने गंतव्य स्थान पर पहुंचाए जा चुके हैं।
The Railways Board chairman informed that given the huge number of migrant laborers who were in distress in the beginning of the lockdown, 250 trains were operated daily. Eventually, lesser number of Shramik special trains are operated now, as majority of the migrant laborers have already reached their destinations. He said that in the next 10 days, the remaining backlog will also be completed and demands of the state governments will be met with. He further assured that railways will fulfill any additional demand by the states within 24 hours. Railways Board Chairman also expressed confidence that within the next week, remaining migrant laborers will reach their respective home states.
भारतीय रेल ने राज्य सरकारों से ये अनुरोध किया है कि वो जैसे ही अपनी रिक्वायरमेंट देंगे, भारतीय रेल 24 घंटे के अंदर वो ट्रेन चला देगी और श्रमिक भाई बहन को उनके गंतव्य स्थान तक पहुंचाएगी। इस समय जो रिक्वायरमेंट जैसे कि बहुत कम होने लगी है, हमें पूरी उम्मीद है कि आने वाले हफ्ते 10 दिनों में सारे श्रमिक भाई बहन अपने अपने गंतव्य स्थानों पे पहुंच जाएंगे।
At the same time, Railways is extending a crucial help in fight against COVID-19 as well. Nearly 5,000 rail coaches have been converted into COVID coaches with facility of more than 80,000 beds for the patients.
हमने कुछ अपने स्लीपर कोचेज को कोविड केयर सेंटर में परिवर्तित किया। करीब 5,000 से ज़्यादा कोचेज को हमने कोविड केयर सेंटर में कन्वर्ट किया है, जिसमें 80,000 से ज़्यादा बेड्स अवेलेबल हैं और इसका मुख्य उद्देश्य ये है कि कभी दूर दराज के क्षेत्र में अगर कहीं ज़रूरत पड़े और हॉस्पिटल बेड्स की कमी हो तो हम जो स्टेट गवर्नमेंट के एफर्ट्स हैं उसको हम सप्लीमेंट कर सकें।
The railways have done a commendable job in ferrying lakhs of migrant laborers to their home states during the lockdown period, while they won the gratitude of millions of migrants. For the Indian Railways, the journey in fight against COVID-19 continues unabated. With cameraman Sumit, Rajesh Raj, DD India.
And let's now take a look at COVID-19 updates from across the country. 1,20,406 confirmed cases, while 1,19,292 cases have recovered from the illness and 6,929 have succumbed so far. Maharashtra, Delhi, Tamil Nadu have contributed to more than 50% of the total number of confirmed cases in the country. In the current pandemic scenario, global supplies of nasopharyngeal swabs are not dependable, resulting in supply chain delays, escalating prices and variable quality. CSIR, National Chemical Laboratory, Pune, has developed an indigenous NP swab for collecting samples from the throat cavity of COVID-19 patients. The need for making available domestic technology for NP swabs was flagged by CSIR to NCL in mid-April. Nasopharyngeal swab is a medical device with stringent specifications of quality, polymer grade, dimensions and sterilization. And in Jodhpur in Rajasthan, the district administration has taken up a lively initiative to create awareness regarding coronavirus do's and don'ts. Artists painted walls with messages to inspire a sense of civic responsibility, such as how spitting can be fatal, saying no to tobacco, that precaution is better than cure, among various other sayings and messages. They also painted murals on walls to express their gratitude towards doctors, paramedics, police and other personnel associated with essential services during the nationwide lockdown. Rajasthan has recorded over 2,500 active cases and over 200 deaths due to COVID-19 so far. And locust swarms continue to enter India from across the border from Pakistan. Later swarms have been observed in several villages of Barmer district. On Saturday, farmers have also expressed worry as the next wave of locust swarms will coincide with the sowing of the Kharif crop. As many as 23 districts of the state have been affected by locust swarms. The swarms which have entered India in the last 10 days are flying further into the hinterland towards the east and southeast. According to officials, 43 districts of 5 states have been severely affected by the attack of locust swarms in the month of May. However, environmentalists are concerned about the widespread use of pesticide to kill the locusts. Experts say that indiscriminate use of pesticides will also affect fauna such as birds, butterflies and other beneficial insects, and could also prove cancerous for human beings in extreme cases. The Locust Warning Organization under the Union Agriculture Ministry has also warned of a bigger attack by the pest in July. It is to be noted that India has only one locust breeding season, and that is summer breeding, which falls from July to October.
कल जब जोरदार बरसात हुई तो सभी किसानों के चेहरे की खुशी छलक रही थी, लेकिन आज जैसे हमने खेत की बुआई की उससे पहले अभी आधा घंटा पहले भी टीडी दल का यहाँ बलदेव नगर के बाड़मेर आगोर क्षेत्र में अभी हमला हो गया है। तो अब हमको चिंता सता रही है कि कब फसल बोए या नहीं बोए। इसके लिए
खुशी तो बहुत है वर्ष में बारिश की, परंतु एक तो ये बात है कि पहले तो कोरोना से गिरे हुए है, अभी तो ये आधा घंटा से पहले टीडी आ गई। अभी हम फसल बो रही है और 2-4 दिन में ये फसल बाजरा उगेगी, उसके बाद में टीडी बैठेगी तो हमारे को पूरे नुकसान करेगी और ब्याज से पैसे लेके आए।
चियाला की फसल भी नुकसान हो गया, बराड़ू भी बहुत नुकसान है, करोड़ों बर्बाद कर दिया है।
बरसात ठाव की है, ये भाव हम बाजरी ने मूंग मोठ उगनो भरोसा है, उगे भगवान मारे करे। टीडी तो महीने में 3 भी आवे है, हमें कई ठा उगन देगा ले जाए ठाव कौन पड़े कहीं। हाँ परेशान तेल का कोरोना में मूड है, हाँ हमें ये में मरा नहीं तो भाव तो खाओ की।
And the world today observes the second World Safety Day today. It is being celebrated to draw attention and inspire action to help prevent, detect and manage foodborne risks, contributing to food security, human health, economic prosperity, agriculture, market access, tourism and sustainable development. Food safety, everyone's business, is the theme of the day. The day is also an opportunity to promote awareness about how to keep our food supply safe. And on the occasion of World Food Safety Day, Vice President Venkaiah Naidu urged all to eat healthy and stay safe. In a series of tweets, he called upon all stakeholders, producers, vendors, consumers and governments to ensure that the food we consume is safe, healthy and nutritious. He added that there is also a need to create greater awareness on foodborne diseases. In India, he said, we have a range of traditional foods prescribed according to our needs and climatic conditions. In these times of COVID-19 pandemic, it is all the more important for people to eat healthy food, boost their immunity and stay healthy. He particularly urged the youth to avoid junk food and stay healthy. In recent weeks, India and China have maintained communication through established diplomatic and military channels to address the situation in areas along the India-China border. A meeting was held between the Corps commander based in Leh and the Chinese commander yesterday in the Chushul-Moldo region. It took place in a cordial and positive atmosphere. Both sides agreed to peacefully resolve the situation in the border areas in accordance with various bilateral agreements and keeping in view the agreement between the leaders that peace and tranquility in the India-China border regions is essential for the overall development of bilateral relations. Both sides also noted that this year marked the 70th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between the two countries and agreed that an early resolution would contribute to the further development of the relationship. Accordingly, the two sides will continue the military and diplomatic engagements to resolve the situation and to ensure peace and tranquility in the border areas. And in the United States, the number of deaths from coronavirus has gone up to 1,09,791, with more than 19 lakh confirmed cases. New deaths due to COVID have been curving downward in the country, but there has been no decline in the rate of the spread of the virus. However, New York State, which has been the epicenter of the COVID-19 pandemic in the U.S., recorded its lowest daily coronavirus deaths for the second straight day today. New York City will begin reopening in a phased manner from the 8th of June, which will bring about 40 lakh employees back to work. The first phase of reopening will allow construction, manufacturing and wholesale supply chain operations. Meanwhile, in Massachusetts, Governor Charlie Baker has said businesses can reopen with some restrictions on Monday following a steady drop in cases and hospitalizations. Retail stores and restaurants with outdoor tables will reopen. And Brazil removed from public view months of data on its COVID-19 epidemic situation on the covid.sode.gov.br website on Saturday. The page was taken down on Friday and reloaded on Saturday with a new layout and just a fraction of the data. President Jair Bolsonaro defended delays and changes to official record keeping of the world's second largest coronavirus outbreak. The ministry also stopped giving a total count of confirmed cases, which have shot past 6,72,000, more than anywhere outside the US. The total death toll, which passed Italy this week, crossed 35,000 mark. President Bolsonaro has played down the dangers of the pandemic, replaced medical experts in the health ministry with military officials, and argued against state lockdowns to fight the virus, hobbling the country's public health response. Meanwhile, some cities in Brazil have begun drive-through COVID-19 testing in response to the worsening epidemic situation in the country. Locals can now download a special mobile phone application to make an appointment for COVID-19 testing starting this weekend. During the process, people do not need to get out of their vehicles but just drive in line to pass the testing tent, where medical staff can verify their identities and take blood samples. In China, Beijing has started to offer coupons worth 12.2 billion yuan to spur consumption dampened by the COVID-19 epidemic. The first batch of coupons were available at China's e-commerce giant JD.com. They can be used at participating restaurants and retailers in Beijing, as well as for buying online products equipped with smart technologies. The activity will last until the National Day holiday in October, and more than 400 activities will be held to boost consumption, covering a multitude of areas. In Russia, deaths due to the corona pandemic continued to rise, with 197 new deaths in the past 24 hours. The country's death toll rose to 5,717. However, it registered a new 8,855 confirmed cases, which have pushed the total number of infections to 4,58,102. Most lockdown restrictions will remain in place in Moscow until at least June 14th, and large public events are still banned. However, Moscow has allowed residents to resume outdoor activities and walks for short periods from the 1st of June. In Russia, hundreds of Moscow residents flocked to an open-air book fair in Red Square, though some publishing houses opted to stay away, as city authorities keep most coronavirus restrictions in place. Organizers of the annual book fair implemented numerous measures to stem the spread of the virus. Chairs were spaced 1 meter apart, and temperature checks were done at the entrance. Along with social distancing measures and temperature checks, Russia's consumer safety watchdog ordered frequent sanitation of the book fair site and mandatory use of face masks and gloves. With calls to end systemic racism and police brutality, the second memorial service for George Floyd was held on Saturday in the United States in a North Carolina town where he was born. Hundreds lined up at a church in Rayford to pay their respects during a public viewing, and a private service for the family was conducted later in the day. At the memorial service, George Floyd's family member, Christopher Simmons, called for an end to police brutality and racism. Floyd's first memorial was held on Friday in Minneapolis. His funeral is scheduled on Tuesday in Houston. The George Floyd killing had led to a wave of protests and national soul-searching over the country's legacy of violence and mistreatment of African Americans and other minorities. Thousands of protesters marched in Washington, D.C. and other parts of the U.S. Thousands also took to the streets across Europe and Australia, as did hundreds in Tokyo and Seoul, in support of the U.S. protests against police brutality. Meanwhile, thousands also marched along the San Francisco iconic Golden Gate Bridge on Saturday. And back home, an awareness video by Jhansi police providing information about prevention of COVID-19 is going viral on social media. The video starts with a message of actor Sonu Sood saying every person of this country is a corona warrior. Things related to everyday habits have been shown in a very interesting way in the video to prevent corona infection. The video compares the wrong and right, the do's and don'ts through a policeman on duty. Greetings with folded hands instead of shaking hands, putting arm in place when sneezing, throwing a mask into the dustbin after use, washing hands before eating are some pieces of advice and some of the messages that are presented. Additional SP of Jhansi Police, Rahul Srivastav, played the role of the narrator. In preparing the video, actor Sonu Sood has praised this awareness video of Jhansi Police.
उत्तर प्रदेश पुलिस और झांसी की पुलिस के दिए हुए इस मैसेज को ध्यान से सुनिए। इस मैसेज पर अमल करने से आप अपने परिवार वालों को सुरक्षित रख सकते हैं और कोरोना इस जंग में जरूर जीत सकते हैं।
Yeah.
And with that, we wind up this edition of the news. News and updates continue on DD News and DD India. Namaskar.